Urgent, Commanders fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Commanders news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. ESPN reveals huge move the Washington Commanders might make. The Washington Commanders are looking to take another step in 2025 from where they ended the 2024 season. After making a shocking run to the NFC Championship game, the Commanders have been aggressive this offseason. Deebo Samuel was a big pickup for the team, but Washington was also able to retain veteran star linebacker Bobby Wagner. Other moves the Commanders made this offseason include signing defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw, resigning tight end Zach Ertz, trading for offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil, bringing back quarterback Marcus Mariota, signing cornerback Jonathan Jones, signing defensive end Dietrich Wise, and adding wide receiver Michael Gallup. There have been a plethora of other moves Washington has made as well. One ESPN reporter has now revealed another huge move the Commanders could make this offseason. ESPN NFL reporter Field Yates has suggested Washington as one of the most likely teams to trade down in the first round of the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft. Washington Commanders General Manager Adam Peters has resourcefully added to his roster through trades this offseason, landing Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel Sr. for modest draft pick compensation, Yates wrote. The Commanders are down to only 5 picks and are in the sweet spot, number 29 overall, where a team slotted early in round 2 could want to move up for a coveted prospect and the 5th-year option that comes with all first-round contracts. If the Giants or Browns do not take a quarterback early in round 1, could they give Peters a call? Moving down to acquire additional draft capital wouldn't be a bad move. Assuming they move down with a team like the Cleveland Browns or New York Giants, the Commanders would be picking again early in the second round. At least for now, Washington is on trade watch with the NFL Draft quickly approaching. Pausing. This news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Commanders news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks, now let's get back to the news. Commanders predicted to sign 25-year-old starting CB with 36 pass deflections and 6 int. The Washington Commanders have made it abundantly clear they believe they can win a Super Bowl in 2025 and plan to maximize the 3-year window while they have Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract. While GM Adam Peters has preached about building the roster through the NFL Draft and the Commanders hit on more than half of their picks from last year, it's clear last season's unexpected run to the NFC Championship game has changed things. The Washington brass now fully understands they have an elite-level QB who makes everyone around him better, and before they have to pay Daniels a massive contract that will hinder signing top-tier talent around him, is making obvious moves to chase a Lombardi trophy right now. It started last season. The Commanders were stacking up wins and looked like a playoff threat and made the decision to trade for Marshawn Lattimore before the deadline to secure a shutdown cornerback for the next 2 seasons at least. Lattimore has 2 years left on his deal, and while he struggled during his brief stint in D.C. in 2024 and never looked fully healthy, the Commanders are banking on him to be full strength in 2025. After the crushing loss to the Eagles in the NFC Championship ended Washington's magic unexpected run, it became clear the Commanders had a void of talent in key positions and had plenty of decisions to make before the start of free agency. Washington had 19 free agents Peters and company had to make decisions on, and with March winding down and the NFL Draft inching closer, the Commanders kept several key pieces from last year's squad while letting others sign with new teams. They were able to bring back veteran leaders Zach Ertz and Bobby Wagner, who played huge roles on their respective sides of the ball in 2024. They resigned punter Tress Way, who is the longest-tenured member of the team. They brought back W.R. Noah Brown, who was one of Daniels' favorite targets in 2024, and resigned T.E. John Bates, who plays a major role in blocking for the run game. They let some productive players walk like Jeremy Chin, Olamide Zaccheaus, and Diami Brown, but Washington couldn't bring everyone back. Instead, Peters made the decision to give up draft capital to bring in new talent that can help them win right. Now, the first move of the offseason was trading a 5th-round pick for 49ers Jack of Trades W.R. Deebo Samuel, which felt like a steal. And then in one of the most surprising moves nobody in the NFL saw coming, Washington traded multiple picks from both 2025 and 2026 to land Texans left tackle Laramie Tunsil, one of the best players at his position in the NFL. Beyond those moves, The Commanders added depth on the DL with Javon Kinlaw. They did the same in the secondary with the additions of Will Harris and Jonathan Jones. They added some other role players on the defensive line as well, but the Commanders likely aren't done yet, and while they still need a pass rusher and have been linked to Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals, it seems like the asking price is too high right now. Bleacher Report believes Washington will add another starting caliber CB and sign Asante Samuel Jr., who has played with the Chargers for the first part of his young career. In an article discussing the most probable landing spots for Samuel, BR mentioned Washington as a possible destination for the 25-year-old CB. The Commanders, who traded for Lattimore last year and recently added Jonathan Jones, shouldn't be as desperate for cornerback help. However, Washington should be interested in adding young players who can potentially contribute for years to come. Commanders defensive backs coach Tommy Donatel was Samuel's secondary coach in LA. For the corners first. 3 seasons. Cowboys tryout could mean Commanders' X starts in front of Dak former Washington. Commanders offensive lineman Sahdik Charles, who has not played football for nearly 2 years, has since unretired and has a workout for the division rival Dallas. Cowboys, the news was first reported by Mike Garafolo of NFL Network on Friday afternoon. Charles was a former 4th-round selection of the Commanders in the 2020 NFL Draft. He would have gone much higher as he had the talent, but he had some character concerns that chased away teams from selecting him higher. As an undergraduate at Louisiana State, he was suspended for violating team rules. He was suspended for all non-conference regular season games. Charles was able to return to the team and start in their national championship victory against the Clemson Tigers. While at LSU, he played on the same team that featured Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. The LSU offensive line also won the Joe Moore Award as the nation's best offensive line. Charles' suspension certainly played a role in him sliding in the draft, but he was able to clean himself up in the district and get back on track. He was a starter in his 4th season and make 10 starts for the Commanders. Last season, Charles signed with the Tennessee Titans as a free agent and was penciled in as the starting right guard. 5 weeks into training camp, he suddenly retired and sat out the season. Last month, Charles unretired and was promptly released by the Titans, rendering him a free agent. He is hoping to get an opportunity to go to camp with the Cowboys, who are looking to replace the recently retired Zach Martin. Presently, Dallas might start bar fighter Brock Hoffman at right guard. Additionally, the Cowboys signed Rob Jones, who'd been a starter in Miami. But Charles is 64 and 320 and is just 25 years old. He's got pedigree, and he's got a chance to achieve something should he and Dallas see eye to eye. Commanders must buck increasing trend to bolster Super Bowl hopes. In 2025, duplicating the Buccaneers model might be the right move. After unexpectedly making the NFC Championship game last year, the Washington Commanders' rebuild is ahead of schedule. Adam Peters understands the opportunity he has to strive for a Super Bowl, while franchise quarterback Jaden Daniels is still on his rookie deal. Throughout his tenure as San Francisco 49ers assistant general manager, the team put a major focus on building through the draft. After having only 5 draft picks in 2020, the team had 8 the following year and 9 in both 2022 and 2023. Washington has only 5 draft picks currently in 2025 after trading away picks for Marshawn Lattimore, Deebo Samuel Sr., and Laramie Tunsil. Currently, the Commanders have a roster with the oldest average age in the NFL and is second to last in the league in homegrown talent, just ahead of the Carolina Panthers per Pro Football Network. Over the last 4 Super Bowls, the winning team has had a roster among the top 10 youngest in the league. Outside of the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles, the other 3 winning teams over the last 4 years have also been top 10 in the number of Day 2 draft picks on the roster. The Commanders will have to buck, pun intended, that recent trend if they want to be Super Bowl champions this season. This is something the Tampa Bay Buccaneers accomplished not so long ago with the 3rd oldest roster in the league. Commanders counting on experience comes with risks attached, but it's been done before. Getting a franchise quarterback changes everything. Just look at how Daniels elevated what was a subpar roster in 2024. The reason that the Commanders have some of the least homegrown talent in the league is a direct correlation to just how poorly the Ron Rivera-led regime drafted. From overdrafting Jamin Davis when many fans were hoping to select Christian Darrisaw, to selecting Emmanuel Forbes Jr., 1 spot ahead of Christian Gonzalez, the draft mistakes over the last 4 to 5 years compounded for Washington. On the current Commanders roster, only Terry McLaurin remains from the 2019 draft and nobody remains from 2020. That's one player out of 18 picks. Astonishing, and not in a good way, the results didn't get much better from there. From the 2021 draft, Davis was cut. Benjamin St. Just, Diami Brown, and Derek Forrest were not resigned. The 2022 and 2023 drafts did provide some contributors for Washington, but were low on impact makers outside of Brian Robinson Jr. Juxtapose that with the Kansas City Chiefs, who ranked number 1 in Day 2 pick rankings in 2019 and again in 2022, and you understand why one team became a perennial contender while the other was more of a bottom feeder. The defending AFC Conference champions have had major success finding starters on Day 2 of the draft, including Chris Jones, Derek Nottie, Kareem Hunt, Willie Gay Jr., Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, Brian Cook, Leo Chanel, and Rashee Rice. The year before Tom Brady joined the Buccaneers, the team had gone 79 in Bruce Arians' first year. But, as we mentioned before, having a franchise quarterback can elevate your franchise. Along with Brady, the Buccaneers brought in other key veterans, including Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, LaShawn McCoy, and Leonard Fournette. They also resigned Ndamukong Suh to a one-year deal and tagged Shaquille Barrett, both of whom had joined the franchise in 2019. Jason Pierre-Paul, who the team traded for in 2018, was also resigned to a two-year deal before the Super Bowl winning season. He would go on to make the Pro Bowl. With the quarterback question answered, the Commanders look to be duplicating this formula by resigning key veterans from last year's team. These include Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, and Marcus Mariota. Similar to what the Buccaneers did in getting players whose value had taken a hit, the Commanders went and got older veterans, including Lattimore, Samuel, and Tunsil, who should be key pieces on the 2025 roster. Free agent additions Will Harris and Jonathan Jones are also on the older side at 29 and 31 years old, respectively. Washington also bet high on Javon Kinlaw, who overlapped with Peters on the Niners. Despite many calling his contract an overpay, the front office leader believes with the right opportunity, his best football is in front of him. If he has a similar breakout to what Barrett did after joining Tampa Bay, in a move that also received mediocre grading at the time, nobody would be upset. It wouldn't be the first time Washington won a Super Bowl with an aging roster either. The 1991 squad had one of the highest average ages of a championship team in NFL history. Regardless, it will be interesting to see what Peters can cook up in his second full year with roster control. And now, Commanders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Commanders. I'll be back any moment with more Commanders news. We want Dallas.